What do you need for a traditional Chinese wedding? Wooden buckets, handmade candy, sausages, and soy sauce that's been fermenting for 6 months. Find out at Anchang, waterside town of 1,000 crafts. For several years, it's been fashionable in China to put on a wedding gown and suit and have a Western-style wedding. But now, many people are beginning to miss Chinese wedding ceremonies and traditions. What is a Chinese wedding like? What rituals does a traditional Chinese wedding include? What preparations are needed? On the first day of autumn, 6 senior citizens from Anchang unexpectedly receive a wedding preparation list. The list was made 80 years ago in Anchang. Simple as it is, it contains details of more than 100 lost rituals. These elders, whose combined age adds up to over 400 years, make a surprising decision. In the final month of 2012, they will reproduce the kind of wedding ceremony that disappeared from this waterside town 80 years before. They hope that the old wedding traditions will be accepted and rediscovered by young lovers in the town. Given the limited time and huge amount of work involved, will they be able to make their deadline based on nothing more than scrambled memories and the simple list? More than 600 years ago, people who lived on the banks of a small river 17 kilometers northwest of Shaoxing began to build what is now the town of Anchang. 60-year-old Shi Shu is the oldest of 6 elders in the town who want to recreate old Chinese wedding customs. He knows that today, when many traditions have been lost, it will be extremely difficult to reproduce a wedding ceremony that disappeared into history 80 years ago. But these elders won't give up. The pre-wedding preparations have become their most urgent task. Like an examiner asking his students questions about ancient wedding rituals, Shi Shu carefully selects the craftsmen who will make the wedding props. Now 60, Yuan has been the town's carpenter all his life. He used to make articles for everyday use, but now tourists only want ornaments and decorations. With a feeling of regret, he tries to recall his old memories. Yuan is very happy to be able to apply his old skills to making wedding props, as his father did. But how were the old wooden buckets made in the past? The old carpenter has a plan. The first step is to select the right wood. Not far from the town is a wood market where there are thousands of types of wood. But which type is the best choice? Ru and his son don't even look at the neatly piled timber. Their goal is to find some old wood that's already been aged and weathered by time.
老木头。
这种老木头要挑过的，整队里面挑出老的来。
要挑出最老的。
挑出最老的。
为什么不用新的？
不新的，因为它这个我这个虫啊，要锯啊，那个要收缩，老木头不大会收缩。哦。老木头做好以后还要技术给它加工过。一般的话买去他们要裂缝。
就老木头它收缩性。
收缩比较
稳定了。
比较稳定的，比较稳定的。比较稳定。
With familiar tools and skilled techniques, Ru first needs to make a small wooden bucket. This is the first of dozens of wedding articles. He saws the wood in half along an arc-shaped line. He considers this to be an exacting part of the procedure, not just a way of saving wood.
每一个都是这样来做的，是吗？
我们最传统的做法。这叫套着做。做小的最好是同一块木头。
同一块木头好处在哪？
好处它那个膨胀技术嘛也是一模一样，是不是？
就是它的密度和膨胀的未来膨胀的程度是一样的。
它做法也它花纹也是一模一样，相当漂亮。你要是一块白的，一块红的，那就难看了，是不是
？He carefully fits more than a dozen planks together and polishes them using various tools. The next procedure is hooping, the most complicated step in the entire process. Hooping involves using bamboo or metal strips to fasten the parts together. This is what will determine whether the bucket will hold together in the future.
这凝器，凝子。凝制器氧化住这个就是头啊，粘合的做。对，给它氧化了以后，这就会粘住了。这个呢是硼砂，硼砂呢是气冷气做的。
这一口气是不是越长越好？最长您能吹多少？
我一般的话呢，吹的长一点的，分8分，1分来1分钟。吹的长一点记得住啊，能记住。你就是短也能记住，就是要刚刚你氧化的时候，你不要给它断气，断气了你就记不住了。
Ru's father first showed him how to blow fire at the age of 10. From a technical point of view, it's about lung capacity. For more than a minute, he consistently exhales air from his lungs. This is comparable to professional swimmers holding their breath underwater. Finally, the copper bands are accurately joined together. In this time of rapid technological development, Ru wouldn't normally have bothered to spend 6 days making an old-style toilet bucket. But he's interested in the idea the elders have come up with. However, there are still more than 20 articles to be made, and only 4 months left before the wedding. It will be a real test for everyone. While Ru makes more buckets for the wedding, Shiyu Shu is looking for the next item, wedding candy. Chen Jinshui is 80 and has lived in Anchang since childhood. He's the oldest candy maker in town. Chen Jinshui is a craftsman who pulls sugar. This is the favorite snack of many local children. But how is sugar pulled into candy? Many people have forgotten all about it, let alone how to do it. Chen pours sugar into boiling water. The ratio of sugar to water depends completely on his experience. If he adds too much sugar, it will become paste. And if there's too much water, he'll have to stand in front of the stove and stir it longer.
它最后要搅成一个什么样的状态？
水开了以后，
水开了以后，
水开了，这个里边的糖啊，基本上氧化光了。
我试试。现在还是有点稀。
还有稀的。
现在还有点稀，最后要很稠是吗？
对。 这里面放下去，这个水全部要熬的。
哦，对，现在还是很稀。
哎，
When the water boils again, Chen waits for half an hour for the water to evaporate. Only when the water has completely gone will the syrup be as thick as he needs it to be. In the meantime, he continually does experiments to test the consistency of the candy on the iron plate his father left him.
这样做比一气做有什么样的好处？
这样子做呢，对身体没有害处。但是这样子搞的话，人家要吃了，我也放心，他们也放心，是吧？还早呢。
The man has never used a modern device, including a thermometer. Perhaps the traditional methods are all he needs.
这要倒这锅里啊？这够糊的。
你不要动啊！
哦，
好烫的。
这是要让它冷却是吗？
这个冷却比较好点的了。
Cooling takes time. The iron cooling pan needs to be turned repeatedly. Chen's ancestors learned through experience that metal conducts heat away quickly and helps shorten the cooling time. As the sugar syrup and strawberry powder are blended together, the syrup gradually becomes redder and redder. It's almost like magic.
一直以来就是这样做的吗？
我一直以来就是这样子土做的。
您一直强调这个土做就是最老的办法。
哎，就是最老的办法。
Although advanced candy-making machines have come into use in some parts of the town, the man still believes in the experience of his forebears.
然后这个是抹过油了以后，这些已经冷却了。
好冷，好烫的，不要动啊！
好的，好的，好的。
10 minutes later, the most important part of the process finally begins: the sugar pulling itself.
还烫嘞。
还是有点烫啊。哦，是。
因为还烫嘞。
The temperature can't be too high, or the syrup won't solidify. It can't be too low either, or the syrup will be too hard. After more than 70 years of experience, Chen is very skilled in the control of temperature. At the age of 80, his arms are stronger than many younger men. The greater amount of sugar, the further it needs to be pulled, and the more the hands and feet of the craftsmen need to work together.
是这样拉是吧？
这样拉。
套进去。
这样套进去啊？
对对对。
配方也是这样拉。
拉啥？
我说你拉不起，拉不起。
快点使劲看，快一点。
我这块有点重了。
Sugar pulling seems easy, but if the action or speed is inconsistent, all the previous efforts of the sugar puller will be wasted. According to Chen, the pulling speed is vital. Once the speed lowers, the internal temperature of the syrup drops, the heat will be lost, and the syrup will become hard.
好，给我。
这样可以了吧？
也可以了，这样。不好了。
这还挺累的。
还要拉了。你的很多拉成我的很多，你看。
我这还挺费劲的。
这从小有的。
啊。
Like kneading dough, each pull makes the solidifying syrup more even and sticky. 1 hour after the boiling process began, the granular sugar has been transformed. It's almost finished. At moments like this, Chen remembers what the town used to be like.
当时买这个糖的人多吗？
老买这个人糖多的，我一家最多买。
嗯，每天您可以卖多少啊？你在你小的时候，
每天可以卖到10来斤。
10来斤。
那个10来斤。
比这今天做的这些还要多。
那要多了，那你比现在的我你来做了，我做的多一些。嗯。不是别人来做的我不用这样做的。
就在你小的时候，安昌镇你每天卖糖要比今天还要多得多。他们都是来做什么呀？
做生意的，什么东西都有。
哎，师傅，你过来。
Due to Anchang's proximity to the Qiantang River, in the 16th century, traveling traders would stop in the town to have a rest, make preparations, and store goods before boarding ships. As time passed, the town grew into a well-known transport hub. Although later the Qiantang River gradually moved northwards, the town has remained a trade center in the area right up to the present day. A traditional wedding cannot do without a banquet. Therefore, a cook who can prepare genuine local dishes is an important member of the preparatory team.
摆着饭，这老来过年老来弄个吃过啊。我这老师个你。哎呀，老师个，香槟鸡哇，香牛哇，香牛，年鸡，哎，咱们香冬肉，哎，这香菜，哎，香菜，不香菜好不好？香菜。
Sausages are a local food specialty of Anchang and Shaoxing and are considered essential for each meal. Xu Lairong's family is well known in the town for traditional home cooking. They make special sausages with only spirit and soy sauce.
我们这个酱油和白酒是在这个香肠里面起什么作用？
烧起来要不烧，你把它滚掉。这个酱油你所有子弹你煮在酱油里面的。就是这样的。
盐呢？
盐不放的，不放盐的，盐放进去太咸了。
就酱油里，我们酱油里面本身就有这种香味。
要不香味的酱油呢，很香的呢，你不能干的。现在很香了呢，蛮香的。
After a little stir, Xu stuffs the simmered meat into the sausage skin. He uses the traditional method and has worn out numerous funnels like the one he's holding in his hands. The sausage skin is as thin as onion skin, but Xu is so skilled he doesn't break it. Although it's drizzling outside, the sausage must be aired on the banks of the river.
在外面晒的目的是，
外面凉嘛是，它一个里面的酱油牛腩要以室温高一点，2个耳朵到里面去凉，是这样的。
外面是要接受阳光是吧？
哎，接受阳光，一定要阳光晒一下的。
Tomorrow may be sunny. After basking for more than 10 days in the winter sun, the sausage will be ready.
是那个老丈人啊。对。
Shiryu Xu is still looking for clues to help with the preparation of the wedding. This sauce workshop has been in the town for more than 100 years and is still flourishing today. Soy sauce provides the basic flavor of Shaoxing cuisine. Without soy sauce, the food at the wedding banquet would be tasteless. Although this condiment is seen on dining tables every day, few people know how it's made. This extra strong version was invented by the founders of this workshop using specially rotted dough.
就那个手把着里面的屁股坐上面就行。
就这样。
坐一下撑一下，哎，坐下撑一下。
怎么抬不高呢？
我说你看，习惯吧，习惯了都一样的。
我看你就特别灵巧是吧？
习惯了都一样的。
哎，我弄不了，弄不了。您再看看。
The dough is cut into flat pieces and steamed in the pot. It looks the same as the steamed buns and rolls made in northern China. However, in this old sauce workshop, the steamed pancakes are sprinkled with powder and left in a cool, unventilated room. The green powder is mold, which has been growing in the workshop for a century, generation after generation. Now what awaits the mold is another cycle of life. The task is simple, to make the pancakes moldy. After 3 or 4 days, mold begins to grow on the pancakes. Now they're no longer edible. The process of making extra strong soy sauce has just begun. On a sunny day, the dry moldy pancakes are put into a vat. Now they're just right for making the special soy sauce. Unlike many other places in China, where soy sauce is made from fermented soybeans and a great deal of salt water, in Anchang, salt water is replaced with soy sauce to make this special brew. The local people have refined the process over generations. After immersing the moldy pancakes in soy sauce, Ding Yun begins a procedure which will take 6 months to complete. As long as it's not raining outside, Ding will repeat the process over and over again.
这个算是最后一道程序了吗？
这个还不是最后，这个是属于半程序。
现在有酱油的味道吗？
有，
有酱油。
有酱油味道，已经有酱油味道，有香的味道，吃起来稍微咸一点。哎，这样子可以吃的。多好吃啊！这个。
咸死了。
哎，咸，多是咸一点。
不是咸一点，是特别咸。
哎，特别咸。
这个也没有加盐，就这么咸。
这个是我们酱油放进去，本身是咸的。
嗯。
这酱油放进去的，原料放进去的时候都是没一个。
嗯。
这3大半成品是这个是水分蒸发掉的，这个咸度不会蒸发掉。
6 months later, the vat is home to tens of millions of microorganisms. Under the action of gravity, black, thick juice drips from the linen bag through a small hole and into the vat. Now another delicacy is ready for the traditional wedding feast. The wedding is now just 2 months away, and the elders are still looking for clues to help make the ancient ceremony as authentic as possible. Here in Anchang, there used to be tens of thousands of households supporting nearly 1,000 craftsmen in various trades. However, most of them have disappeared over the years. In today's China, old towns like this are now few and far between, and many of the old ways have gone. Will the wedding be a success? The elders will keep working hard to make sure that it is.